focus on to improve. And we'll ask you a series of questions for about 15 or so minutes. And then the last 5 minutes, we'll open the floor for you to ask any questions you have of us about IRA Week, about this interview, as well as if you want to run through any mock questions or role-play any questions you would ask in a more traditional professional interview.
Sounds good.
Before we begin, it would be helpful to know which of the internship job descriptions from your IRA packet you've chosen to focus your work on this year.
This is cybersecurity track. That's the one I'm going for.
Amazing. Fabulous. So I'm going to jump right in. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Good to go.
Fabulous. So I'd love to learn from you a little bit about what you were doing before Year Up and what led you to want to enroll in this program.
Before Year Up, I was a cashier and receptionist at a car dealership. I loved my job, but midway, about the first 6 months, once I got used to the schedule and everything, I realized that I couldn't do that for the rest of my life and that I needed to find something else. Now, I had applied to Year Up previously once, and I was denied. But I tried again, and there were some issues there, so I had to apply a third time to get in. So I love technology and just learning everything about it. And I knew dealing with cars wasn't going to lead me that way, so I had to learn. And it was just a personal challenge to be accepted into Year Up.
Great. That's really great. Thank you.
And why specifically tech? What about it gets you excited?
I've always had a difficulty communicating with people. I'm more so of an introvert, and just being behind computers and learning about them sort of sheltered me in a way, so I didn't have to necessarily deal with people. But being in Year Up has also taught me that it's okay to talk to and communicate with people, but I can also love technology.
This next question has a few parts. Okay. So, what has been your greatest challenge or growth area during learning and development? And then what have you done to overcome that? And then the last piece is, what plans have you made about internship to make sure that you succeed in that area?
My biggest challenge has been networking, just opening up and getting to know everyone. I've struggled with that my whole life, and I knew I would have to overcome that once I started learning and development phase. But I was very unsure of how I would do it until I realized that it's just having a conversation with people, really. Just genuinely being interested in them. And for internship, I plan to do the same thing I've been doing. Introducing myself, hey, just asking small questions until I make an actual connection with them.
So with the job description provided to you in your packet for the cybersecurity internship, what makes you feel that you're a strong candidate for that role?
Part of the requirement is to be a strong verbal and have strong verbal and written skills, and I believe I have both. I won the first place in my elevator pitch competition, and I've also scored very high in all the the speeches provided by my VC instructor, as well as I've received minimal to no corrections when I submit any written assignments to my instructors. I feel like I would be a good fit for a cybersecurity role.
Thank you.
So this question's more about a scenario. So imagine that we're working together, and I would love for you to schedule a 15-minute weekly meeting with a few different people so that we can check in on our projects.
Mm-hmm.
How would you go about setting up that meeting?
I would do it through Outlook. And I know there's the calendar function where you can add a meeting at the recurrence, so it would be weekly at whatever, at the time we agree, or we can agree as we exchange emails. And there's also another function where you can add the attendees, and it'll send the email notification to them as well.
Evelyn, can you tell me about a manager that you found it hardest to work with, and then what you did to maintain a working relationship with them?
That would be when I worked at the car dealership. My manager was, in a way, arrogant, but also very closed off. He wasn't open to help when we had questions, and sometimes I had customers who wanted, you know what, I don't want to deal with you, I want to deal with the manager. And either he'd be nowhere to be found, or I would tell him, hey, this is going on outside and they want to speak to you. Well, what would you do about it? What do you suggest? And it's like, well, you're the manager, what am I supposed to do? But then I would proactively find solutions. Well, and if I were you, I'd do this and this. Or if they were dissatisfied with the service they were given and the manager couldn't help, which most of the time it was, I'd give them something from our accessory section or a discount on their bill, something like that, so that they wouldn't leave feeling like, you know what, I have a bad sense of what the company is.
Thank you. So let's see, I have a question in mind and I lost it. There you are.
You're completing a technical project. As a part of a team of 4, what role do you tend to take on?
Usually, if I know the content, I'll take the lead and I'll be the leader. I like to break down projects and, divide it. You do this, you do this, you do this. And usually it's I like to just, hey, what are you good at? Are you good at any one of these? And then just let them pick what they're good at, and if there's one that they don't want to do, then I'm usually the one to take it, just because I want everyone to use their strengths to benefit the team as a whole.
Thank you.
Can you describe a system that you use to keep yourself organized?
I like to write everything down, either on a notebook or my planner, and an asterisk if it's important, or some sort of sign. If it's important, it's an asterisk. If it's just bullet points, it's a dash. Stuff like that to just help me separate what I need to do in order of priority. And I will write the list about 2 or 3, 4 times to help me visualize this is what I need to get done first. And it helps me stay organized just because I prioritize my actions.
So that's the end of our sentence